Hello, welcome to the Wandsworth Community Empowerment Network. My name's Tony Tuck and I'm the Company Secretary, and I've been the Company Secretary here for a number of years. What you're about to see in this short film is an overview of what we've been doing here in the last year and an indication of what we're going to try and do in the coming years. It's been a difficult year, it's been a hard year, and as Company Secretary I just know that we are skating on thin ice in our finances, but we are all confident, we are all optimistic, and we're full of affirmation. We tried hard to move in with our local communities, and we try hard to work from the bottom upwards so that we really know what people want rather than from the top downwards. And I think you will enjoy the kind of depiction that we show here, and I hope you will approve of the kind of things we're seeking to do here in Wandsworth. Having been established in 2002 as part of the National Strategy for Neighbourhood Renewal, the flagship programme for the first term of Tony Blair's new Labour government, and a programme that was designed to reduce so-called postcode poverty and join up government and communities to eradicate poverty, we're now nearly 8 years into our mission, and our part of the national strategy was to work with and empower community groups so that they have a voice in decision-making processes. We've now begun to bring all the lessons we have learnt over those 8 years, all the evidence that we've gathered, and all the relationships we've developed towards what we are calling a whole system project. One which brings all of the stakeholders from right across the communities and the professions to co-create, co-produce and co-deliver the public services that are most needed to help improve the quality of life for the most marginalised and the most disenfranchised members of our community. This past year is the story of how much of this work came into fruition. In the summer of 2008, South West London and St George's Mental Health Trust asked us to make some short films on young people and on mental health, which were to be shown in their Happy Soul Film Festival.
On the way home, back from school, I wonder what goes through my brother's mind. How can he be getting into trouble so much?
You know what I mean? I'm like, the stuff got so bad, I had to seek psychiatric help, and that is me.
So what, you trying to say man's mad or something, fam?
No, blood, I'm just trying to show you.
If this carries on, I reckon 10 years and the whole town will...
Population
will
be
wiped
out if the government doesn't do what they do. In order for that not to happen, we all need
There has to be a stop to this.
Consequently, we organised a tour of community groups with the chair of the trust, John Rafferty, and visited 8 different sites, from the Hindu temples in Wandsworth and Merton through the local imams in Battersea and the black majority churches of Tooting. The message was that a public agency like the Trust and community groups can get together and have adult conversations about what works and what doesn't. And these conversations can lead, if there is a will, to a way being found that delivers the services that people want and need. Many of the groups were brought together for a large event at the Battersea Arts Centre in October 2008, which started a conversation between many of the community groups and professional leads from inside the Trust. Discussions on older people and mental health, on young people and on families, on community involvement. And in the end, over 150 people participated in what turned out to be a hugely successful event. We have over the years enjoyed very good relationship with Wandsworth Police, who have supported the annual peace concerts which we've put on, and also our youth diversion work.
This is why we support these type of events, so that we can gain a better understanding, so that we can adopt a problem-solving process, working in partners with the local authority and other key agencies.
Because it's easy to say, innit, because this is how you see it. Like you can say the perception, yeah? It's easy to say because that's how you see it, but the problems and the emotions and the things that people are going through run a lot deeper than what you're saying that is just, unless someone, so you cannot really just push it like that. Like,
no, I'm not. That's what we have spoken about, people standing on street corners and smoking cannabis. That's why I said that. What I'm saying is, I can't go into each individual. There's only 30,000 police officers in the Met, and I would say there's probably a fifth of them out on the street.
They've been working on safer neighbourhood teams across the borough and were looking to innovate. How, for example, could they have better relationships with local community groups, perhaps even develop off-site police reporting projects? While we were discovering this route map, and in a truly co-creative way, adding and taking away and moulding and shaping it as we've gone along, we continue to build on the work of our earlier successful conference. And we thought it was really important that we continue to bring people from across the range of community and services into spaces where we can meet together, share together, talk together, eat a meal together, get to know each other, and get to know each other's problems better.
Something very good is happening here in Wandsworth, so we need to be very clear about what that good is and how we build on it. And I suspect a lot of that good is actually coming from the work that we're talking about here today.
I thought tonight's meeting was the most energised AGM I've ever been at. It just showed an absolute commitment to working together from the grassroots, from people coming together, having their own ideas, and the people taking things forward.
Well, I'm going to try and bring down one of the ministers who's responsible for the grant funding of neighbourhood renewal and the other grant funding streams to try to meet some of the people here, Dan Malik and Marie and Ruth, to see for themselves how a really active community empowerment network can operate.
The Evil Eye versus the Discerning Eye event in May attracted over 100 people at the Memnon Faith Centre in Balham to talk about the changes of faith and of communities and the taboos and the stigmas around mental health. We were joined by Imam Yassir Fazaga from the USA, who spoke about the synergies between faith practice and psychological therapies.
And as you know, we are guided by principles of legal issues and ethical aspects. So one thing I do is check out my own scope of practice. Am I really able to help this client?
Well, we wanted to prove or actually discuss the fact that spirituality can be seen as an energy that can help people who are going through some mental problems or stressors.
The Trust has been very involved with faith communities, and this is the latest in a series of events where we're really seeking to build on the understandings that we've developed over time and turn them into actions.
I think they need to again team up, have a practical demonstration to show that he is a patient, he is already a person of faith, and if they give him, because sometimes giving him all the medication may cause more harm to him.
Coming from Glasgow and coming from an ethnic minority background myself, and also being Muslim and third generation Pakistani, I think it's very important to think about culture and faith, and also spirituality.
And that's part of the reason why I'm here, because when we're looking at things like barriers to access in terms of how people in faith-based communities, or the Muslim community in this one, find difficulty in getting the services that they need.
In October, we had a Black Communities event. The Church and Mental Health Conference at the New Testament Assembly was joined by Melba Wilson and Frank Keating to talk about faith and mental health.
The church is a tremendous institution within Black communities. Black majority churches are growing in congregations, in their influence.
I think it's about really looking at how we can reduce some of the disparities that there are for Black people within mental health services. But it's also about helping mental health services to find better ways of working.
This event is part of a series of events we've been having as we try to reach faith communities throughout the area which the Trust serves. We want to talk about the importance of mental health being everybody's business.
As the momentum has continued to develop and more people realise that it is only through new ways of working and by bringing a wider range of community people as experts into the decision-making loop, and only by spreading the burden of responsibility across the field and enabling a range of community players, as we are hoping to get real system change. So today we're sitting at the cusp of a revelation. one that has started with the small grassroots communities within the borough, a genuine bottom-up revolution that's been supported and driven by the principal leadership of the Mental Health Trust with the support of the Wandsworth Police, and that we can start to make the changes that we all know are required. Well, that was the year that was, and in this coming year, we're hoping that all the work that has been collectively put in over the past 8 years and has been gained through an unprecedented level of support over the past year will start to deliver the changes. We can then start seeing the results in the year ahead. Results that can start to transform not only the way that public agencies deliver their services, but also to fundamentally improve the quality of life of the communities in which we all live and which we care so passionately about.